Good morning, everyone. It's Monday, October 19th. From the San Antonio Express News, my name is Luis Vasquez, and this is your Express Briefing. All of the stories you need to know to start your day. You can expect partly cloudy skies, possible showers, and a high of 88 degrees in San Antonio today. There's something irresistible about a pointless explosion. Ever since the first video posted 10 months ago, Ordnance Lab has grown steadily in popularity. Take a closer look at Texas demolitions expert Sean Lindley and his YouTube channel at expressnews.com. Also, Texans cast more than 2.6 million ballots in person or via mail in the first 3 days of early voting, and early voting continues until October 30th. We'll have continuing coverage of early voting today as the second week gets going. And now let's move on to our top stories for the day. District Attorney Joe Gonzalez said he will create a new team of prosecutors to review policies of use of force cases that result in deaths or injuries, promising greater scrutiny and more transparency. Gonzalez said the new Civil Rights Division will report directly to him, and he has asked Bexar County commissioners to allocate $385,000 for a pair of assistant district attorneys and other staff to do the work. After the killings of George Floyd by police officers in Minneapolis in May, Gonzalez said he sympathized with nationwide protests over racial disparities in criminal justice. Gonzalez said he had been thinking about better scrutiny of police actions even before that. Elizabeth Zavala has the latest details on the plan at expressnews.com or at the link in this episode's description. Eric Wilson still can't see clearly out of his left eye. Nearly 10 months after 4 San Antonio police officers barged into his home, tackled him, and repeatedly punched him. Eric spends his days in a federal prison thinking about his arrest on January 16th. It started when officers said Eric didn't use his turn signal 100 feet before an intersection. Hours later, he was in the hospital undergoing emergency surgery. 2 of the officers who arrested Eric were later fired, and a judge dismissed the 2 criminal charges against him. That turn of events came too late for Eric. Emily Eaton takes a closer look at his case in her latest article. As the novel coronavirus laid waste to most sectors of the economy, it showed no mercy on the many churches, disabled veterans, and children in need supported by bingo operators across Texas. In Bexar County, residents hoping to hit it big helped raise $1.2 million for local charities in the 2019 second quarter alone. But in this year's second quarter, when bingo halls were shut down for nearly 2 months along with other entertainment venues to prevent the spread of the virus, proceeds dropped to less than $30,000. Liz Hardaway breaks down the numbers in the outlook in her latest article. The long lines that marked the first day of early voting at many of the county's 48 polling sites continued during the week, although some sites saw no lines at all. Bexar County Judge Nelson Wolff thinks the lines will ease at some point. With the 6 extra days plus longer hours at the sites coming this week, people will have more time to vote. Excluding Sunday, the 48 polling locations will be open starting today to 8 p.m. and then will be open until 10 p.m. starting Monday, October 26. Polling locations open at 8 a.m. Monday through Saturday and are open from noon to 6 on Sundays. The last day to vote early is Friday, October 30th. We have what you need to know as early voting begins its second week at expressnews.com. Get ready to vote with our 2020 Texas Voters Guide. Our comprehensive survey of the candidates in key national, state, and local races, along with voting frequently asked questions, helps you get ready to cast your vote. You can check that out at the link in this episode's description. Next up are your need-to-know headlines. You can find all of these headlines and more inside your Express News subscription. On Sunday, San Antonio's Metro Health reported 116 new coronavirus cases and 1 death. There were also 2,583 cases and 16 deaths reported from previous months. San Antonio renters struggling to make ends meet amid the pandemic could get help staying in their homes with a new state program that aims to prevent evictions by settling back rent. CPS Energy's chief executive said that the utility is likely to seek a rate increase in 2021 as financial pressures from the COVID-19 recession mount and activists strive to shake up its leadership raises questions about its future. The San Antonio area's unemployment rate bumped up in September after trending down since April's record-breaking job losses from the COVID-19 pandemic. Bexar County voters are choosing between an incumbent sheriff who had a tumultuous first term and a former longtime county clerk with no law enforcement experience in the November 3rd race for one of the county's oldest elected posts. Sheriff Javier Salazar, a Democrat, could be the first sheriff re-elected since 2004. Regulators fined USAA Bank $85 million for assorted illegal credit practices. Business columnist Greg Jefferson writes, quote, "The company has work to do to regain trust." The Center for Refugee Services distributed winter coats to refugee families on Friday. You can read more about the center and the people who served Friday, including 2 who were surgeons in their homelands and 2 who couldn't read or write, at expressnews.com. Business columnist Chris Tomlinson writes, quote, "Racism has cost America $16 trillion over 20 years, but Trump is hobbling the fight against it." For the past 2 years, the Dam Community Alliance has put on car shows on top of a dam to raise funds for projects and improvements to the dam, lake, and surrounding parks. With COVID-19, the Canyon Lake event looked different. 5 candidates are running for 2 board seats in the fast-growing Southwest Independent School District. The district's elections were supposed to be in May, but were among many delayed due to the COVID-19 health and safety concerns. We have what you need to know at expressnews.com. San Antonio advertising legend Leonel Sosa has joined forces with the Lincoln Project, a group of veteran GOP strategists employing their battle-honed messaging skills to bring down Trump and his Republican enablers in Congress. You can read Gilbert Garcia's column at expressnews.com. Retired in 2006, Rosita Milk spent 22 years at Burleson Elementary School, a magical place for learning. Rosita is in hospice receiving palliative care after a decades-long battle with cancer. Elena Yala tells her story in her latest article, which you can find at the link in this episode's description. The Express News editorial board writes, quote, "Donning masks, Texans are voting in numbers that are amazing and encouraging. More than 1 million on the first day of early voting, significantly more than in 2016. You can read their full article at expressnews.com. On October 23, 1960, San Antonio once again celebrated the Alamo as John Wayne's movie, The Alamo, made its premiere. Wayne himself traveled to San Antonio for the event, along with Frankie Avalon and several other actors from the film. Quote, "A celebration involving far more people than the original Battle of the Alamo was in full swing Saturday to herald the world premiere Monday night of John Wayne's $12 million motion picture epic, The Alamo." That, according to a front-page story in the Express News. Remember in-person conferences and conventions? Travel, a new city, crowds, check-in lines, name tags, networking, business cards, keynotes, swag, panels, vendors, lukewarm coffee, happy hours, and stilted conversations? Remember? As businesses scramble to find ways to connect, a San Antonio company is trying to fill the void of lost engagements with virtual sessions that offer many aspects of in-person events without some of the headaches. You can read more about this San Antonio company's pioneering efforts in a new era of online conferences and conventions at the link in this episode's description. A $600,000 outdoor renovation at a Hill Country Village home in San Antonio took 2 years. The project updated a 1980s-era pool, added an outdoor kitchen, new hardscape, and more Texas-native plants. You can see photos and details of the project in Richard A. Marini's latest column that you can find at the link in this episode's description. Cibolo has experienced explosive growth over the years, but if you're willing to venture into its original Main Street area, well east of Interstate 35, vintage treasure awaits. You can read our 52 weeks of pizza review of Catalano's Pizzeria at expressnews.com. Just because 2020 is a dumpster fire doesn't mean your Halloween at home snacks have to be. You can find our 6 recipes for Halloween at-home snacks at expressnews.com. Meet the San Antonio Animal Group rescuing and adopting out guinea pigs at expressnews.com. Catch up on all the scores from high school volleyball and football on Friday, plus a handful of games from Saturday at expressnews.com. And that's all for today. This was your Express Briefing for Monday, October 19th. My name is Luis Vasquez. Please consider becoming an Express News subscriber to get in-depth coverage on all the stories you heard today. Also, be sure to rate and review this podcast inside of your Apple Podcast app, as it really helps the show. Have a wonderful day, everyone.